In recognition of National Transgender Awareness Week, I would like to honor Marsha P Johnson, without whom people like me wouldn't have our rights today. Not. Trans people are responsible for gay rights and we would have no rights without trans people. And this is a myth of, Marsha
It's
P Johnson.
disgusting. Not true.
Yeah.
Not true.
Yeah, they say
Not
Marsha
true.
P Johnson, who threw the first brick at the Stonewall Rocks, she wasn't even trans, she was a drag queen, right?
That's right. She was a cross-dressing drag queen, and she even
Yeah. So it's like,
we
do
shouldn't
they
even
not
call her
know
she.
their
He went
own
by he.
right?
I
So do they
know.
not know their own terminology? If they
They
could,
do. They do. They do, dude. They actually are a
yeah,
cult, and they created a whole new.
yeah,
And that's the thing is because it's a black trans woman.
yeah,
Okay, and no disrespect to black people here
yeah,
at all, but I'm
yeah,
trying to show you they're trying to make this narrative that black
yeah,
trans women are the
yes,
worst, are the ones that get the most mark. I have a lot of white trans women friends who got like in bad spaces. It's
yes,
not just black trans
yeah,
women. But that being said, yeah, of course, I'm not black, so I don't know that whole
yeah,
situation. But I'm 63 and I transitioned 33 years ago, dude.
yes.
I
You
know a
were the
lot
pioneer.
more.
And the thing is, um,
There were no, none of that shit happening, dude. There were black trans women, there were also
mm,
white trans women, there were also Mexican trans women, and there were
yes,
all kinds of trans women who are
yeah,
just doing sex work. That's
yeah.
all they were doing.
And
Like what?
throwing a brick
No,
didn't win us freedom.
no,
That's a, I mean, you could
it's a
say it was
lie.
symbolic perhaps, but the trans movement has pretty, like, they've tried to sideline gay and lesbian people from their own history,
That's
right?
right. That's
Um,
right.
yes,
That's
they
right.
were trans people were by our side, but they were a very small community, very small
Dude, they
percentage,
were tiny. I was
especially back
there.
then.
I told you I was around all the gay men who died of AIDS, dude. All of
Yes,
my gay friends died of AIDS. I was there. Okay. There was
yeah,
hardly any trans people. I wasn't
yeah,
even transitioned at the time because it wasn't even something you talked about
yes,
30 something, 40
right,
years
yes,
ago.
exactly.
These people make me so mad, dude. They're
Yes,
literally taking over. They're lying. That's an
yeah,
actual, we need to get that lie out of
yes.
there. We actually need to get it out of
Someone has
there.
just commented, um, envy is my hero. Back 30 years ago, being trans wasn't a trend like it is now. Because
That's
yes,
right.
it's a trend. And
That's right. It's a trend.
the thing is, we
Yes.
won our rights through respectability, not rioting.
That's right. Not
Right?
rioting. I was also part of Queer Nation,
Right?
which was literally about bringing AIDS awareness. We didn't
Yeah.
riot. We
No.
just
It was
had, things and posters, and
the
we were doing
riots
that. We didn't
were
crash windows
no,
and kill women
no.
and call
They
them
were
turfs.
right. I
Yeah,
mean, the riots were sort of monumental events, but it was
that's
just
right.
people being brave enough to live their lives openly without fear of judgment, working
That's right.
together, showing they were
That's
no
right.
different. It's like the daily act of living truthfully that's been
That's the
by
key.
every single gay person who has ever come out. That's what won us
That's
our rights,
literally the key,
right?
dude, and why I have been embraced by the world. And I
Yeah.
used to be in the sex world, and I'm still embraced by the world because I
Uh-huh.
live authentic. I live what they
Yeah.
love to call authentic. I live in a way that says I don't care if you call me she. I
Yeah.
actually don't care, dude. It means nothing to me. What I
Yeah.
care about is walking in the world with you and
Mm.
having a life that I don't have to worry about somebody, killing me because I'm transsexual, right? That's what they're not, they don't want that. They want you to come after them, and they want to create a huge divide and anger because that's all they have. They don't
Yeah.
have anything else. That's
And
it.
another group also that's forgotten in the winning of our rights is the people within the conservative community who built bridges with those who opposed
That's
us.
right.
Because you've got to be
That's right.
in the community to infiltrate, right? And I read
Yep.
something in an article that was saying it's the upper middle class gay man who befriended a Supreme Court justice at a cocktail party and convinced him that two men should be allowed to marry. These are the unsung heroes, ordinary people
Yes.
invisible to the public eye who won us our rights. So let's, I hope I'm going to capture this and share it that it wasn't Marsha Johnson throwing a brick.
That's all bullshit. Marsha Johnson wasn't even a trans person. They were a cross-dressing drag queen. And then the other one, who's the other one? Marsha P and oh gosh, I can't remember her name right
Yeah,
now because I'm just so tired of the narrative. But
yeah,
they just put these two trans women, one being a trans woman, one not, right? Oh,
mhm.
Sylvia Rivera. They also used
Okay,
Sylvia Rivera,
yes,
who was just somebody who championed for transsexual rights back in the day.
mhm,
She did, but she hated gay men.
Oh,
She just hated gay men. She went off on gay men. So there was already the narrative of
yeah.
these trans women back in the day who hated gay men. They actually did. They felt threatened by them. So
And
it
what
just, it's nasty.
the comment from Nikki saying, what's happening these days is just anarchy, not peaceful protesting. Yeah.
Excellent.